Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ITM University Online. Today's webinar is on the psychology of impulse buying. Now, most of us go for shopping and most of us indulge in hardcore, maniacal kind of shopping. But at times, have you ever noticed that you might have gone to buy something and you might have a list along with you, or you might have in your mental mapping as what you wanted to buy. But at times, it so happens that whatever you did not want to buy would be there in your bag. It would be there as the highest bill that is really grossing your total bill. Now, this particular scenario wherein which you buy things that you did not intend to buy is what is known as impulse buying. And did you know that most of the shoppers are gaining most of the business out of this impulse buying? And there are a lot of cues out there in the retail store that really lures people to engage them with impulse buying. So, let me begin by saying what are the psychology of impulse buying, that the customers get indulged in impulse buying. Now, we all are guilty of impulse buying because at times we refrain ourselves from shopping because of the fact that we might indulge in end up buying something which we really don't want to buy, and our pocket might get really thin because out of that. So you came with a list but you left the store with something else which is not there in your list. But what triggers this behavior of impulse buying? What influences you to buy things that you did not intend to buy? So basically, the psychology says, or the marketing behaviorist says that there are three main contributors to impulse buying behavior. So let's go with the first one. The first one is really the store environment. When you speak about the service evidence or the physical evidence in service marketing parlance, okay, when you speak about the marketing mix, in the case of service marketing, there is an extended three marketing mix, that is process, product, process, product, and the physical evidence. Now, here, when it comes to store environment, you can understand that most of the modern retail formats have made their stores in such a way that the people are getting glued to buy things. Now, I'll give you a small example. Most of the things that is kept in your hand touched area are really engaging you, or maybe in your eyesight area might be really engaging you to take it or buy it. So that really engages the customers or really bubbles up your impulse purchasing action. So highly stimulating environments and perceived crowding increases the frequency of impulse buying. That is the first thing that happens in store ambience. When it goes crowded, when the store format in such a way that it is really engaging, which helps you in your tactility, that really ends up in impulse buying. Repeat shoppers are more likely to make impulse buys than the first time shoppers, because the first time shoppers always go a little prudent, always go a little skeptical about things, because how much their bill might come to. But those people, when you go to the retail shops second, third, fourth time, you become much more familiar with the format, and you end up in buying things that you really did not intend to buy. And in small stores, pricing has the main influence over the impulse buyers. Now, most of the people are always engaging with shopping, might get lured with discounts and offers. Now, in small stores, these discounts and offers really tempt people to buy things that they really did not intend to buy. In turn, that would be the major factor which engage them in impulse buying. Again, in large stores, this is not the case. It is the product displays and have the main influence on the buying behavior. Now, there comes the importance of visual merchandising. This is another area in such which is magnanimous, which is mammoth, and it is coming up as one of the most highly demanded and debated topic of discussion, that is visual merchandising. Now, you might have seen when you go to a retail outlet that there might be some sort of a physical evidence kind of maybe some soaps are being paddled together, or somewhere you can see that there is a very beautiful installation being kept up. Those are product displays that allow you to go and touch them, feel them, and ultimately end up in impulse buying. So visual merchandising plays an important part in making customers buy the product or end up in impulse buying. shoppers who react more positively to a store environment are more likely to purchase something that they weren't planning on buying. So that is one fact. The second factor, the second major factor that really engages customers in impulse buying is their psychological trait. Now, some people are really having this particular trait of impulse buyers. Now, some people, when they go to a store, they think analytically. Now, you just think about yourself. There are basically three types of people that go for shopping. The first people, they think analytically. The second people, they think impulsively. And the third people, they think thriftily. Now, what happens when customers goes for shopping and if they have this particular trait of impulse buying behavior, then nothing can stop them. They impulsively buy things. If you just go for shopping along with your friends, you might, in a group of friends, you can really feel that there are some friends who really cannot control them by when they see something, they cannot control that, they cannot stop without buying it. So that is the psychological trait that they have within them. Of the people who have this trait, only those who find it morally acceptable to buy on impulse, they do so. And the researchers suggest that there is a strong link between getting good deals and the release of mood-boosting endorphins. So, when there is some good offers, this mood-boosting endorphins really stimulates your brain cells, and that reaction really ends up in impulse buying. So, the second thing is something very endogenous, which is your mood-stimulating, impulse buying, mood-stimulating endorphins, which really ends up in impulse buying. The last and final one is the buying conditions. Now, more time a consumer is remaining in a shop, spends time with the shop, there is more susceptibility for that particular shopper to end up in impulse buying. So, being a marketer, being a retail owner, your motive is to make sure that your customer stays within the store for a longer period of time. Now, you can really make your physical ambience good. You can put in very smooth music as per the condition requires. Put on music. You can put physical evidences of good order. Olfactory nerves can be stimulated. With all these things, you can make your consumers stay in your store more. The more likely they are to purchase something they did not plan on buying. The implicit primes are more effective when shoppers are distracted, making them more likely to make an impulsive buy. So finally, I would like to conclude my webinar by saying that marketers can use this knowledge to promote impulse buying in hopes of increasing their bottom line. So impulse buying is the major share of increasing the profit of any business. Engage your customers in engaging in impulse buying. That is a success mantra of any business. Thank you.